Welcome to the PR Maven Podcast, a podcast all about growing your network and building your brand through traditional and digital networking techniques. I'm Nancy Marshall, the PR Maven and CEO of Marshall Communications. Stay tuned for this week's episode, and thanks for listening. Welcome, PR Maven Nation, to this week's episode, one of our mini episodes, a quick and informative look at how to help your hiring process. This podcast is presented by Marshall Communications, creator of the 65-step Marshall Plan process. For more information, visit marshallpr.com, and on the website under PR Maven, you will also find information about my two books, PR Works and Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand. This week, I'll be sharing my Forbes Agency Council article entitled 3 Ways to Help Your Hiring Process. So let's dive right in. Hiring. In a post-COVID economy, there's no greater challenge for businesses large and small. In fact, attracting and retaining qualified workers is a top issue facing today's employers. It goes without saying that hiring has always been important. Especially for small businesses, human capital is everything. Find the right employees and your business will innovate and grow in ways that were once unimaginable. As the owner of a PR agency, I would be nowhere without the people needed to secure new clients and satisfy existing ones. More often than not, our team members are the ones who secure the day-to-day deliverables that keep clients coming back for more. Small business owners should never overlook the contributions of their team members who ultimately make success possible. In today's economy, finding the right team members is the difference between success and failure. They are out there, but recruiting them is a skill that job creators need to cultivate. Here are 3 ways to help your hiring. First, highlight your social impact. Let's be clear. Financial compensation is important. Salaries and bonuses matter. So do benefits and other perks from the job. But there's more to hiring than paying people the highest amount possible. People want to feel like they are contributing to the greater good, that employers are making a positive impact on the world around them. 8 in 10 U.S. workers believe that companies should take action to address socioeconomic problems. Millennials and Gen Zers are especially interested in corporate values, and they will leave companies whose values clash with their own. Most young employees would take a pay cut to work for a socially responsible company. Think about that. With this in mind, employers need to emphasize their social impact. They need to outline exactly how they're making the world a better place. In my agency's case, I make it a priority to tell workers how our clients are making a difference, and by extension, making it easier for others to make a difference. A positive impact isn't always clear, but team members need to know when it's happening, and the same goes for job seekers. Don't be afraid to extol your virtues so others feel passionate about joining the cause. You want a positive vibe to be your brand, and you want new hires to be your newest brand ambassadors. 2, leverage social media and digital advertising. Whether you're highlighting your social impact or simply posting a job, it's imperative for employers to lean on social media in reaching potential job seekers. Popular platforms like Indeed and LinkedIn are increasingly important as connectors for employers and new talent. The modern marketplace is saturated. Many businesses are in the same boat, desperate to find new talent. For that reason, it may be worth considering a digital advertising strategy to stand out. Targeted ads on LinkedIn and Indeed and other platforms allow employers to stand out in a crowd and convince interested parties to begin the application process. Keep it short and sweet, portraying your company as fun, interesting, and valuable. Put yourself in applicants' shoes and advertise accordingly. Make sure to update your website with new pictures and descriptions of current team members so people feel like they would be joining a creative, dynamic company. If your website is stale, your hiring process will be stale too. Keep it fresh. And number 3, solicit employee input. Who knows your company best? Your current employees. Who knows whether or not a job seeker is a right fit? Your current employees. Don't forget to include your team members in the hiring process so they may see the benefits or drawbacks of a new hire, even if you don't. Look at it this way. Your existing team members will be working with the new hire, so it's best to familiarize them sooner rather than later. You may not always be able to predict the future, but soliciting employee input makes it easier to anticipate and prevent adverse situations down the road. Speaking of adverse situations, involving your current employees allows them to ask interview questions that directly apply to the job at hand. They can present scenarios that an applicant may encounter working for you, and it's important to judge that applicant's past experiences as you figure out how they would translate to a new context. Try to see how an interviewee thinks through a challenging situation, since they do indeed happen. In the end, hiring is a team effort. Even the best interviewers can't do it on their own. Employee attraction and retention become much, much easier when it's a collaborative process. Plus, your current team members will appreciate the opportunity to chip in. It's a win-win situation. For more insight, get access to my latest book, Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand, by visiting prmaven.com/giveaway and download a free copy today. And here is my friend, Mike Duguay of Thomas College in Waterville, Maine, to share how PR Works and Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand have helped him.
After reading PR Works, I really started to think about how marketing actually works. And I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but what I realized is that each platform nowadays that we use out there in digital media and social media has its own nuance and also quirks to it. And understanding how they're used is exceedingly important. Because when you have a hammer in your hand, everything looks like a nail. And you can't approach it that way in marketing. And that's where I think Nancy's brilliance really shined in PR Works. I think Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand is really sort of the manifesto of understanding that there's many different levels to marketing. It's on your personal side of your brand, how actually you express yourself through business, but also what people hear you saying and what they see out there in the public eye as well. So I think what's really important there, that's really the blueprint of how you go about using these new social media platforms, but also to express who you are as a human being. Because people want to see you authentically and genuinely working with not only what you do, but also with the customers. And Nancy, on a personal level, I think that's who she is. She embodies that approach.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the PR Maven podcast. I invite you to share a review of the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also join the PR Maven Nation on Facebook. It's free to join, and it's a great community of like-minded individuals who are all looking to learn and grow from one another. If you use an Alexa device, use your Alexa app to search the Skills and Games section to find and enable the PR Maven Podcast Flash Briefing. This will give you access to exclusive content and more PR and marketing advice. Thanks again for listening, and have a great rest of your week, PR Maven Nation.